My mom's hand was shaking so bad, she almost dropped the phone. Daniel, what do you mean an offer we can't refuse? My brother's voice came through the speaker, cocky as always. Exactly what it sounds like. Someone wants the beach house, big money. We're signing tomorrow. She tried to interrupt. Tomorrow? But Claire, he cut her off. Claire doesn't own it. You and I do. She just crashes there. The phone went dead. Then footsteps on the porch. Daniel walked in with that smirk I'd seen my whole life. So, Claire, you packing? New owner wants you out by next week. I stared at him. What are you talking about? He laughed. The sale. You're not on the deed, so... He shrugged. Time to find your own place. Just saying. He walked off whistling. I looked at my mom, waited for her to defend me, to say something, anything. She wouldn't even look at me. Mom, you knew? That silence told me everything. But here's what they didn't know. I'd spent 6 months in that house's attic, going through every single box. See, I'm a document restoration specialist. My family calls it my hobby, but that hobby just found something that was about to blow this sale to pieces. I'm Claire, 34. I drive a car held together by duct tape and prayers. I live above someone's garage. My brother Daniel, he's the golden child. Was. Big shot real estate developer. BMW, corner office, the works. What nobody knew was his company was bankrupt. His wife filed for divorce. He needed this beach house sale to survive. But that beach house was mine. Every summer of my life happened there. Every good memory. And he wanted to sell it to save his ass. So I'd been digging, found old tax papers, photographs, letters. Then I found something that made my heart stop. A will. My grandmother's will from 2 weeks before she died in a car accident. And there was a name I'd never heard. David Thorne. Someone who was supposed to inherit half the beach house. The will was never signed, never official. My grandparents died before they could finalize it. So legally, the house ownership was a complete mess. Then I found 50 letters, all addressed to my mom, all from David Thorne, all returned to sender with my grandmother's handwriting. Return to sender. Every single one. I read them all. David wasn't some random guy. He was my mom's first love. They were going to run away together, but my grandmother intercepted every letter, made my mom think he abandoned her. But that's not even the worst part. I found my mom's diary from 1983, August 15th. I'm pregnant. David's baby. I'm so scared. He left and he's never coming back, and I can't tell anyone. 2 months later, lost the baby last night. Mom said it was food poisoning. I wanted to die. David's not here. He was never here. My mom had been pregnant, lost the baby, went through it alone because her parents lied. Then she married my dad a year later, a man she didn't love. So I did something crazy. I tracked David down, found him in Seattle, told him everything, the letters, the pregnancy, the truth. I invited him to the beach house, just to talk. What I didn't expect was for him to show up with a lawyer. The next morning, we drove to the beach house. Mom kept talking about travel plans, but her voice was shaky. Daniel followed in his BMW on his phone the whole time, looking stressed. We pulled up. There was a black Tesla in the driveway. Next to it, a car that said County Records Office. We walked in. A man stood by the window, late 50s, silver hair, well-dressed. Next to him was a woman with a briefcase, county seal on it. He turned around, his eyes locked on my mom. All color drained from her face. She grabbed the doorframe. No! Daniel stepped forward, all smiles. Mr. Thorne, Daniel Morrison, great to meet you. So excited to finalize this sale and... David? My mom's voice cracked. David's voice was quiet but firm. Hello, Susan. I'm not here as a buyer. I'm here as a co-owner. This house was never legally yours to sell. The county clerk stepped forward. Mrs. Morrison, there's a problem with this property's deed. The 1983 transfer was never completed, missing signature. This house is still in your grandparents' estate, and Mr. Thorne was named as a beneficiary in their will. He's entitled to 50%. Daniel went pale. This is bullshit. We've owned this house for 40 years. Actually, you haven't, David said. My mom stared at David like she was seeing a ghost. Why? Why are you doing this? Because for 30 years, I thought you abandoned me. I thought you chose your parents over me. I wrote you for 5 years and you never answered. So yeah, I want what's mine. What letters? My mom's voice broke. David, I never got any letters. You left and never came back. That's when I stepped forward, heart pounding. She's telling the truth. So are you. I pulled out the box. These are your letters, 53 of them. Mom never saw them. Grandma hid them all. I handed them to my mom. Her hands shook. She opened the first one, saw David's handwriting, saw return to sender in her grandmother's writing. Tears started streaming. They lied to both of you, I said, made you think the other gave up. David took a step toward my mom. Susan, I didn't know. My mom clutched those letters, crying. Daniel looked at me with pure rage. Claire, what did you do? I found the truth. Then I dropped the bomb. And there's something else you need to know. I pulled out the diary. Mom, you were pregnant, David's baby. You lost it, and you went through it alone because Grandma made you think David didn't care. The room went silent. David? David's voice came out barely a whisper. What? My mom's face crumpled. I was 19. I was pregnant and terrified, and you were gone, and she couldn't finish. I didn't know, David said, tears in his eyes. God, Susan, I didn't know. Daniel's phone buzzed. He looked at it, and his face went gray. He stepped away. Yeah, no, the money's coming, 1 more week. When he hung up, he looked 10 years older. Okay, here's the truth, Daniel said, voice shaking. My company is bankrupt. Lisa's taking everything. If this sale doesn't happen, I lose my kids' college fund. I lose custody. I lose everything. My mom stood up, walked to the window, stood there forever just watching the ocean. When she turned back, her face was steel. Daniel, you've been lying. This isn't about our future. It's about covering your mistakes. She took a breath. I'm selling this house, but the money's not going to you. It's going to Claire. I nearly fell over. What? Mom, no. Claire's the only one who cared about the truth. She found all this. She tracked down David. She deserves it. Daniel's face went white. You're going to let me lose everything? You already lost everything, Mom said. I'm just not saving you from it. David spoke up. I'll sign off on my claim, let you sell, but only if the money goes to Claire. Daniel has been borrowing against this house for years, $300,000, on vacations and cars and living beyond his means. He doesn't deserve to profit from this. Daniel looked like he'd been punched. How did you... I pulled the county records, David said. You used this house like an ATM. Now the bill's due. My mom turned to David. I can't give you back 30 years, but I can give you the truth. You didn't leave me, I didn't leave you. We were kids, and our parents destroyed us. David nodded. That's all I needed to know. He walked to the door, stopped, looked back at my mom. Goodbye, Susan. Goodbye, David. He left, just like that. The ghost was gone. Daniel sat there, head in his hands. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I lied. Sorry I treated you like nothing, Claire. First apology I'd ever heard from him. What are you going to do? I asked. He laughed, tired. No idea, but I'll figure it out. And that's when things got even crazier, because 6 months later, my phone rang. It was David, and what he told me changed everything again. 6 months after David walked out of that beach house, my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. Claire? It's David. My stomach dropped. David? Hi. I didn't expect... I need to tell you something. About your mom. About why I really came back. What do you mean? He was quiet for a second. I didn't just come back because of the house or the letters. I came back because I've been diagnosed with cancer. Stage 3. And I needed to make peace before... He didn't finish. I couldn't breathe. Does Mom know? No, and I'm not going to tell her. She's been through enough. But I wanted you to know why I signed everything over, why I let it go. I don't have time to be angry anymore. We talked for an hour. He told me about his life, his regrets, how he'd spent 30 years building a successful firm but never really lived, how finding out about my mom, about the baby she lost, broke something in him. "Thank you," he said before hanging up, "for giving me the truth, even if it hurt." I didn't tell my mom about that call, didn't tell anyone. David had given me his truth and asked me to keep it. The beach house sold 3 weeks later. Young couple from California. They turned it into a rental, painted everything white, made it look like a magazine, soulless and pretty. Daniel stopped talking to me completely, moved into a studio apartment, got a job selling insurance, cold calling people, from real estate mogul to entry-level sales. Mom said he was going to AA meetings, trying to see his kids more. 6 months after the sale, Daniel texted me. "You were right. Thank you." I cried reading it. But the real shock came when my mom sold her condo and asked to move in with me. "I don't want to live in the past anymore," she said. "I want to live with you, build something real." We found a small house together, 2 bedrooms, a porch, a garden. Nothing fancy, but it was ours. We got a cat, named her Dory. She's judgmental and perfect. One night on the porch, Mom asked me, "Do you regret telling the truth? It destroyed everything." "No," I said. "It destroyed the lies. What we have now is real." She smiled. "David came by last week." I nearly dropped my wine. "What?" He brought coffee. We talked for 3 hours about everything, the past, the what-ifs, but mostly about now. She looked at me. "We're not getting back together. Too much time, too much life, but we're friends, real friends." "How is he?" I asked carefully. "Good. He's building a house in Washington, retiring next year." I didn't tell her about the cancer. That was his story to tell. 3 months later, my phone rang again. David, but this time his voice was different, lighter. "Claire, I need to tell you something. I don't have cancer." "What?" "I mean, I did. They caught it early, did treatment. I'm in remission now, clear for 6 months. He laughed. "I thought I was dying when I came to that house, thought I had nothing to lose, but turns out I had everything to gain." Tears streamed down my face. "Does Mom know you were sick?" I told her yesterday. She cried, then she hit me for not telling her sooner, then we laughed. He paused. "We're going to dinner next week, just as friends, but friends who finally know the truth." That's when I realized something. The truth didn't just give us the house money or fix Daniel or reunite Mom and David. It gave us something bigger. It gave us a family that could actually survive because it wasn't built on lies anymore. Daniel reached out a year later, asked to meet for coffee. We sat in Starbucks, both awkward. "I've been in therapy," he said, "working through my shit. My therapist said I need to make amends." "Okay, so I'm sorry for how I treated you, for being such a selfish asshole." He stirred his coffee. "You were right. I was drowning and trying to take everyone down with me." "What changed?" "I hit rock bottom, lost everything. Then I realized losing everything was the best thing that ever happened, made me actually figure out who I am without the money and the status." He smiled, sad. "I'm volunteering now, teaching business skills to low-income kids. It's not glamorous, but it matters." "I'm proud of you," I said, and I meant it. We didn't become best friends, but we became real, and that was enough. 2 years after everything, David called with news. "Claire, I'm getting married." I almost dropped my phone. "What? To who?" "Her name's Rachel. She's an artist. We met at a gallery opening. She knows about Susan, about everything, and she's okay with it." "Does Mom know?" "I told her this morning. She cried, then she said she was happy for me, and I think she meant it." The wedding was small. Mom went, I went. It was beautiful and bittersweet. During the reception, Mom and David danced. One dance, then they hugged and said goodbye, for real this time. On the drive home, Mom said, "I loved him so much when I was 19. I thought that meant we were supposed to end up together. But love isn't always about forever. Sometimes it's just about being real with someone, even if it's only for a moment." 3 years after the sale, I got a call from Daniel. "Claire, I need to tell you something. I've been saving money. Not much, but I want to pay you back for what I took from the house, for the loans I got against it. Daniel, you don't have to. Yes, I do. Not all at once, but $100 a month until it's paid. It'll take years, but I need to do this. Okay, I said. Okay. He's kept that promise. Every month like clockwork, $100. It's not about the money, it's about him becoming someone who keeps his word. Last month, David and Rachel had a baby, a girl. They named her Susan. Mom cried when she heard. David asked if Mom wanted to be in the baby's life, not as a grandmother exactly, but as someone important. Mom said yes. Life got messy and complicated and beautiful. Mom dates now, nothing serious, she's happy. Daniel's rebuilding, David's moved on but stayed connected, and me? I'm still restoring documents, still helping families find their truth. But now I own a house, a real one. I owned my rates, built a real business. People respect my work now. I still drive that beat-up Honda, still makes that noise. But now it's a choice, not a necessity. The truth cost us the beach house, cost us the fantasy, cost us the easy path, but it gave us something better. It gave us a family that could actually survive because it wasn't built on lies anymore. 6 months ago, I got one more call from David. Claire, Rachel and I are buying property on the coast. We're building our dream house, and we want to include a guest house for Susan, for you, for the family we all became. I cried. David, that's too much. No, he said, it's exactly right. You gave us the truth, let us give you this. So yeah, in the end, we didn't get the beach house back, but we got something better. We got a family built on honesty, on hard choices, on people who fucked up and did better. I'm Claire. I'm 37, I own a house with my mom and our judgmental cat. I have a brother who's learning what it means to be a good person. I have a found family with David and Rachel, and I have work that matters. Most importantly, I have the truth, the whole messy, beautiful, painful truth, and it was worth every single bit.